Hello, everybody.
In the back.
Hello, everybody. That's got charge. That's got charge. Nom 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 nom.
What are you nomming?
I was numbing the conveyor belt of stuff. Beehive grow faster.
Okay.
I swear one of those llamas looked like a person for a second.
Oh, there's the island. Oh, this looks like it could be the island. Let's see.
That sounds good.
It's definitely a maybe.
Is the YouTube thing gone every time? Is this gonna happen every time?
Yes.
I have to do the fucking YouTube pop out every time. It's really irritating.
That's life. You live, you learn, you get loves.
Do you make lemonade?
Oh, right. I was gonna. What is it? F. No. What's the. Oh, it's in. It's actually in here. Forgot. Let's see. Full crafting. This one. Let's see if this works. Uh-oh. Is it only going to be on this? Oh, okay, yeah. So it's only on that. Got it. Okay. That's fine, though.
Just 13
Man,
more beehives.
It definitely... What'd you say?
I have 13 more bees.
Oh. What?
I said beehives, but my brain was not there.
Yeah. My brain's usually not here. Oh. Okay, Grub, you have a new job.
What's my
as well.
What's my new job?
Yes. Including your other responsibilities, you gotta keep these things full.
What thing's full?
And also the batteries in them.
What thing's full?
The things
What's
I'm at.
full? What do you want me to put in them?
These, anything that we have excess of, which right now is rope.
Okay. I'd like to mention there's no batteries in them.
Yeah. That's part of your job. Go grab the batteries. They're right here. I'm charging them. I'm pretty sure that all the next titanium I get are going to go to batteries, because that's getting really old really quick. I'm sure that there's other stuff we need with the titanium, but I genuinely don't care anymore.
I mean, having more batteries is just a benefit, because the more batteries you have, the less time you have to replace them, because there can be some on the charger.
Yeah. Well, and they last so much longer when they're the good version.
Yeah.
Why are we stopped?
I do not know. The anchor is not down.
Using motors worked. Get us so much closer now. I'm gonna have to make a better place though at some point, so that I can actually see where to go and drive. But I can't decide how long to make this thing. We're already massive, and I get that, but
I don't have a good answer.
batteries off. No.
What?
I don't.
Oh.
You,
Why
you
you
sounded
gotta
like
be
you were
so
enjoying
rude?
something in life, so I wanted to take it away immediately.
Ow! What a jerkosaurus.
Rex.
I'm starving again.
There is more than enough food.
No, I just forget about it.
Oh, you're gonna bitch if I don't kill first, aren't you?
I would like to get the metal that we need. And probably the copper that you probably still need for the batteries. Yeah, that you
I
still
don't
need for the
think I need.
batteries. You do. You need 2
think I
copper
do.
bars per advanced.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, okay, well, then, yes. That's the answer. So, Bruce. Where is he? There he is. I'll have his attention shortly. Alright, I have his attention. There we go.
You practice on the dead zone of the island.
Oh, he's coming straight for you.
That's not news I wanted to hear. Ow.
So irritating. Attention again.
I should hope so. He's got a bit of my thigh in there.
You saying that you don't taste good?
No, I don't think I do.
You know, funny enough, we don't. That's why most shark attacks don't, like, as horrible as they are, it's mostly that they're confused as to what we are, or they think we're a seal, and then they bite into us and they're like, ew, gross, what the fuck is that? And spit us out.
Well, you gotta cook your pork.
And it's really, like, obviously, shark attacks are not a funny thing. But having said that, the idea that they eat us and then spit us out because we taste bad is kind of funny. Okay.
Fucking shark going to his therapist. I accidentally hit a human yesterday. God, it was horrible. I threw up all over.
Pretty much.
Oh, great. This is gonna be one of those islands with a really deep, fucking stupid crate of bullshit. Oh, okay. I'm complaining less now because I see like fucking 8 copper nearby.
You complain less?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right.
Nah, it does. Now to swim to the surface before I drown.
Yes, breathing is in fact still a thing, in case you were wondering. And I swear, if you say let's sleep, I'm gonna murder you.
Well, I thought you wanted
I will
to fish me.
find a way to turn PvP on and come murder you.
Did it actually have PvP back in the day?
I don't know.
I
don't
swear
think so,
I
'cause it's
remember
never built
killing
like
each
that.
other. No, I think we tried and we couldn't do it. Never mind. The first rule of every video game: does it have PvP? It's shank.
I mean, pretty much. I mean, that's literally the first thing I gotta try out and see if I can hurt my friends.
It's the same with fall damage. Does it have fall damage? Whee!
Yep.
Ooh, there's
and then be sad when it does. Okay, how do I get up here? There's got to be an easy way.
Why does the last little bit of oxygen take the longest, by the way? Dun 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 dun. Be asleep, I can see what I'm doing better.
We have every colored flower, right?
Yes, I went and picked them up. As far as I'm aware of every color flower, anyways. A red, white, yellow, and black, and blue. Ah, my nose. You must get the sniffles to start. I've got a cold sore, I've got a chapped lip, and now I'm getting the sniffles. Great. Becoming old and affected by the cold.
Okay. What do we got? This. I have no trash cubes.
They should be in the recyclers.
Yeah. I forgot that I used them all up. I'm gonna have to get back up here again, but at least now I know the way to get up. It is right here.
The more
where is that
you
from the boat?
know.
Because knowledge is power.
That's why they call him Cliffhanger. You know, Arthur, the cartoon show from PBS?
Yeah.
Started in like 1988, I think, or 87.
I did not know that.
Okay. Do you know when it ended?
2015.
2022. It's like, what? It's such a, it's so old and yet so long.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. I still wish, I know he's actually talking about it, which is, honestly, I'm kind of excited about it. I can't remember his name, but if I say his other name, you'll know who I'm talking about. Jodie LaForge is trying to get Reading Rainbow back on the air again.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
Dude,
I'm kind of excited about it.
Honestly, it needs to come back. It was good. It was like really good.
Yeah.
And like, it's one of those things that I don't think there's a good reason not to have it, but there's more than enough good reasons to have it on the air.
Yeah, I can't think of anything bad about it. I mean, it's one of those that is definitely more younger. Like, I'm not sure someone around 12 will like it as much as someone else.
Well,
But
but the
like
point was,
yeah, no, the younger you are, the better it is because it's
I
really
mean, that's the
engaging.
thing. It was just a way of getting people to read books because, and like, you know, I want my kids to read books. It's fine with me. Whatever they, if they want to read online books or whatever, it's just reading books is. It's one of those. It's good for them to do pretty much no matter what.
Yeah.
So like, having a show that consistently, because like we had there were so many programs in place when we were little to get you to read.
Yeah.
Like the free pizza stuff with Pizza Hut and all that stuff, and it's like
I didn't have
understand that
too
that
many
stuff
like
costs
programs or
money.
fairs. The only one we really had was the Scholastic Book Fair would come out every once in a while in my place.
Yeah,
And that one was hit or miss. I want to say
I love the
honestly,
book fair.
like it's fun to go, but like it's the last 2 times I went, it was more not books and more fair. if that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
So luckily, I was out of it way before it started to do that. But like when my kids were going, it was a lot more other things. Whereas like, because when I would get money from my parents to go, they'd be like, okay, you can get, you know, this, you can get, I forget how much they would give me, but they'd give me some certain amount and they'd just be like, this much can go towards stuff other than books and this can go towards books. But the stuff other than books is, I had a thing about pencils.
Yeah.
I wanted every possible combination of pencil look you could get,
I
and they
love
had
that pen that
such
had the
wild stuff.
multicolors.
Oh yeah, no, I always had one of those, and I had a pencil box that was just full of fucking pencils from book fairs and all.
Yeah.
Um,
The thing that
oh shit.
got me the most of my books was our local library. Uh, the big one. There are a few, but there's one that's like I think better in Colorado, which would be the Belmar Library. Um, has this used bookstore for books that are like they have a little bit of cover damage or
Oh,
they're
a trade, a
too
shop and
adult.
trade or whatever.
Yeah,
Buy
it was
sell
just like
trade.
in the
Yeah.
corner of the library. Like you come in, you go through the front main entrance, and then after you get in, there's a off section that sells. They sold some jewelry, like they had 2 display cases, but the rest of it was books and used movies because people would donate movies too, and they couldn't always sell them for one reason or another. And for instance, I bought the entire series of Animorphs out of there for probably, I think they were $2 each, so probably $100 over the years. Because I'd buy them whenever I found them. So I own every 54 books of the Animorph series. Which I know that one gets like a mixture of hate and love, but they were really good sci-fi.
But that's the thing is it doesn't, the content doesn't matter near as much as just having
Reading.
them read. Like
Yeah.
obviously reading higher level books and stuff is good for you, but just like reading at all is a big part of it, which is what they pushed back then, because it was like you could get credit for any book you wanted when you wanted to get your free pizza stuff and all back in the
Yeah.
day. Like they didn't give a shit because it was just, the whole point was just to get you to read. It wasn't like, you know, they didn't want me necessarily need you. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Underneath. I'll get us started back up then. I got us another goat, so we should probably. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't do this thing. So it started to, and then the thing attached me, so I should do this. I was gonna say we should probably make another grass plot.
Alright.
Is there no dirt in this? There it is. Let's say there's a cave with no dirt. What a ripoff.
I still remember my first book. Actually, I remember my first book, well, when I really started to learn how to read. The first novel I
What?
read, and then the first big novel I read.
Yellow.
Oh. People.
Oh,
No, you're good.
person hopped in. It made the weirdest noise. It's been so long since we streamed that I did not know of all the new features that they had. But yeah, someone hopped in, so I was just saying, hey.
Hello, James.
It is going. Been so long since we streamed, but You know, I was looking at that. It was
Oh
close
God,
to 10 years ago.
Jesus, that long?
Yeah.
It's been that long since fucking God, what was it? What was that big survival game? Rust.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was shocking to me. I was like, has it really been 10 years since we were streaming?
Oh dang.
Like, it, it's funny because, like, we got, you know, we'll build our audience back. Is Raft our favorite game? It is up there.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's my favorite. It's definitely one of my favorites though.
It's, I think it's probably top 10 for me, for sure. It's at least top 10.
I mean, if Subnautica would make Raft, but Subnautica styled, I'd probably like that better. But that's just because I like sci-fi.
Yeah. But I like any building game.
Ugh. Are we still doing stuff on the island?
No, I had to run back because I hadn't done the diggy thing.
Should
So I
I
had to go
wait?
back and dig the diggy hole.
Oh,
You don't
okay.
need to. I'll get it.
Alright.
I'm just putting everything away real quick. And getting everything ready to get started back up.
Where are the jars? We're playing on PC. We're halfway to another beehive.
That makes me sad. That makes me really, really sad.
Really?
I'm not gonna
Takes
lie.
forever.
Yeah. Yeah, we tend to play everything on PC because, well, mods and things like that.
Mods are definitely a big one. The other one is I don't feel like paying twice for my internet.
That's a valid point.
They do respawn at some point, the stuff on them.
Yeah, but the problem is none of them really had bees.
That's
I
true.
couldn't find the one that we originally got the bees from.
Not full
No.
time. We're doing 4 days a week, 3 hours.
Yeah, we're just dipping our toes back into it to see. There was a time where we did, what, it was 4 8-hour streams a week.
Yeah.
But that was 10 years ago. And we had a whole group. But they've abandoned us.
Alone again, naturally.
That's okay. They weren't builders like the two of us are, so
God, fucking Voided hated we spent any time just building.
yep. It was not his thing.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
How are we doing on those batteries things? I'm kind of just waiting for these batteries to die and then
Oh,
to charge.
well, so I need to actually get the titanium cooking.
Okay.
Would help. Also, we tend to build things like way too big.
No. This is,
I mean, for other people, not for us.
This is certainly normal.
I'm not even. Well,
How big
I
do you
haven't
want your
decided-
base? I want it seeable from orbit.
Yeah, pretty much. I haven't figured out yet how big this is going to be, but it's got to go further back. Because I was looking at it from the side yesterday, and it made me sad because it looks like I was going for doing the
Branding strategy? Not really, not yet. We're not at that point where we need to do with branding. No point having a branding when you don't have people watching yet.
Yeah. It took us a while last time to get to that point. I assume it'll take us a while again. But yeah, I was looking at it yesterday, and the whole idea was to make it look like
Cargo container?
Cargo ship, yeah.
Ah, I kind of figured that's what you were
That's the
going
word. But when I was looking at it, it looked so short. Like, because the front end is so big so that we could have these nets down here. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do need to do it at some point. We gotta get a strategy together, but it's gonna, like you said, we're still feeling out even what we're going for this time, because last time it was sort of having drinks with friends and playing stupid games of being dumb, and now that it's just the two of us, we're
Just
still
dumb
trying to figure out,
games.
yeah, what what our plan is for what we're even going to be playing and doing.
Dun, 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 dun.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
I just realized that this fucking planter is off center and that's gonna bug me. Ah!
I mean, but none of this is all temporary, man.
I know.
Well, it doesn't need to be centered.
Wonder what those paint like eventually.
Oh yeah, I gotta get a painter going too.
Yeah,
I need
eventually I'll have
batteries, I
a
need
section
paint.
for flowers for painting.
I need all the things. What is it? This? I need more titanium. A lot more. Uh-oh. My
Those aren't
cat's...
words I like. Oh, the cat
No,
is
my
here.
cat is digging at the door.
Let me in!
Pretty much. She does not like being excluded. But like the problem is if she would sit here quietly or like lay
That's not a cat
somewhere.
thing.
But no, it is though. Is the thing. It is, cats do that all the time. But like if you're trying to do anything other than just sit there and watch TV, they have to climb over everything. And that cat, she knows where the mute button is. It doesn't matter what computer I'm on, she knows how to mute it.
She's watching you. She's been studying you for a while now.
But I don't use the mute button. Like, I never use it. I don't even know where, I didn't even know where it was on this computer, the main PC, until she hit it and I had to find it because, like, she found it and I couldn't hear anything. Like, suddenly my DBM got quiet and I was like, uh-oh. Well, like, earlier, before you got on, I was just doing the raid thing, you know, catching up on my weekly. We're not looking for any help just this second, but thank you. Whoops. But like, she just calmly laid there.
Are these batteries charged? No! It takes so long!
Okay. Yeah, so like I was just doing the raid thing earlier, catching up, doing something simple and watching some TV. And she came up and was just so sweet and just laid there. And then the second that I got on a call with you, she was like, it's time.
I must be getting
Well,
my way.
didn't know I had to clock in this early, but it's time.
I still love that comic of like the cats under the bed talking to a monster. It's like, what were you planning to do with my human? If I just speak quickly, it's almost time for me to run and scream around the room for no reason.
Wait, what was it I was supposed to be doing with titanium?
Batteries.
No, there was something else too, though. Because I went hunting and thought, oh, I need like 6 of those. Whatever. Making a battery.
I've got nothing.
It's fine. I'm used to being disappointed.
disappoint you.
You literally do all the time, though, is the thing.
Well, I think you're a bitch.
Well, that's rude.
Well, it's the truth, though.
I mean, did it sound like I was arguing with you, or just that it was rude that you said, "Oh, there's an island. Hello." It's a
Where?
big island too.
Oh, it
Okay.
is. Run!
It's,
Run!
quickly.
Fly, you
Oh,
fools!
it's way too late. Yeah. Okay. I'll just turn it. Come
Oh,
on.
I see
Come
we're
on.
gonna
You
crash,
can do
huh?
it. Oh no, we crashed some time ago.
Oh, jeez.
I'll just back us up. And hopefully that's good enough. Oh, I know what island height this is. No bees on it. Yeah, I'm just gonna have us go, because there's no bee. Well, but
The
metal.
Yeah.
We can sleep and do the metal thing in the morning. Plus, I can go get some titanium
You
as
might
well.
want to turn the engines off, by the way.
What? Why would I do such a thing?
Why are they not all going? I've built them all.
Did you know?
Pretty sure I did. They're
And
all
they're
built, but they're making this sound like they're having issues. Whatever. Sleep.
Well, they were having issues because I had the anchor down.
Oh, okay.
Because I had remembered to anchor us, but had not remembered to turn the engines off. Alright, Bruce. Where are you at? There he is.
Need my emergency fish supplies from when I eventually go too long and starve myself. Are the bees ready? Yes, the bees are ready. Gotta harvest that. Boop. Okay, now that's going. Do I have a spare? I do. Dive! 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 Whatever happened to that live action Atlantis movie?
He's
Wasn't
coming
that
straight.
supposed to... God damn it, Bruce.
You swim over towards me, and then you don't expect him to come to you.
Yeah, I don't. Leave it alone.
Please stop going away from me, because
I'm-
he's chasing you.
I'm trying
and
to
you're
get out
going
of the
away from-
water. There.
Alright, he's dead. He would have been dead like a while ago if you weren't swimming away from me with the shark on you.
Listen, you need to come
If the
to
shark
tank.
gets on you, it's real easy. If the shark gets on you, just swim to me. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Seeing
instead
you
you
is
gotta make it
very
all
hard
hard.
for me. I have T-Rex vision.
Apparently.
God, now I want to watch Jurassic Park again. I'll watch that movie in a couple years.
So good.
Especially the first one. Jurassic World was also pretty good. I would say it's up there with the first one. The first Jurassic World, since I do have to speculate about the second one.
There's good stuff in the second one from a story point of view.
Yeah, it's like the third Jurassic Park movie as well.
Yeah, it has things in it that are good, even though it in itself may not be good.
This island sucks so far. Hopefully the backside is better.
Beautiful singing. Love it.
Listen, I never said I was a singer. As my grandma
And yet
said,
you
I can't
continue to
keep a
punish
tune
me
in the
with
bucket.
singing.
Well, yes, if I have to suffer with my singing, you have to suffer with it
Okay, I think we're gonna have to go to Story Islands because like we're missing too many things, and it can't be a coincidence that we're missing these things. It's got to be a story thing. So,
too. That's a pain.
um,
What are we missing out at the top of your head? That's besides bees, or is it just bees?
um, well, so that strawberries, all the special fish like the puffer fish, in particular.
I see pufferfish all the time.
Well, can you maybe collect them for me? Because I need puffer fish.
I don't know how. Never done it.
You gotta kill them without them blowing up. That's it.
That is unlikely. I will need a
Okay,
weapon.
well, if you find one, just stay away from it and let me know where it's at, and I'll come get it. How about that?
Okay. I've not seen the anglerfish, but I don't think I ever saw them on an island, even after we found them in the story. Like, they only spawn in that one place.
Ow! I thought the water was a little closer than that. Do you wanna build a math lab? Doesn't have to be a math lab.
Jesse, just one cook. Speaking to the fly in the walls. Buzz, 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 buzz. Hey, fun fact. Did you know that oxygen is still required?
I have heard that.
It's a horrible news. Can't wait till we get to like the Spaceball days and they start selling oxygen to us.
That'd
It's
be a lot
gonna
more
happen.
funny if it wasn't gonna happen.
There's a pufferfish.
Oh, okay. What side of the island are you on?
Let me get this crate and come up for air and I will tell you. That's a good fucking question. I guess the backside, I think.
No idea where you're at. Okay, well, I will climb up top.
I'll stay up above.
See if I can figure out where you're at from there.
If I'm right, it should be diagonal from like the back corner of the boat.
On the back corner? Okay, well, then we went the totally different way from where I was going.
Yeah, the smaller side of the mountain range.
If somebody's going to grab the crate and stuff. But like the banana trees too.
Yes, I will look.
Like we're not finding any of those islands, and I have a feeling that's why.
It definitely could be. I have questioned if it's like once you visit it, because it's usually once we visit it that we start seeing that stuff more often. Usually.
Yeah. So I was hoping that we didn't have to do that, but we did apparently. So
hopefully we just have
that's
to visit it and not
life.
actually do the island. Oh no, because we have to be able to unlock the next story island through doing all this stuff, don't we?
Okay,
So,
there you are.
yeah, it's to the left of me. So like down there.
Sploosh. Oh, I see him. God, I hate the bow and arrow.
Yeah. Either good in games or completely worthless.
Oh. Hey, did you know that you do need to breathe?
Yeah, I've been hearing about that. It's floating across the nation.
Okay, got him.
getting the last of the metal too here in a second.
Okay, so is that enough? Oh, I gotta go cook the explosive power. I forgot about that portion. Boom, boom, ba-da-boom.
Oh, no more metal. There's more, but I have no oxygen and I'm dying. No! Come back from me. I don't know why I treat the metal like the grocery trip from the bag. It's just like, must do it all in one trip. Ow! Bruce is back. That might kill me, honestly, if I'm not careful how I go about this. On dry land, Bruce. Totes on dry land. Ow! Please. Boat. Don't let me die to Bruce. No! 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 I live! Safe. Okay. You still there? You got quiet.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. There we go. The metal detector was like acting weird. I walked over the same spot like 8 times, but it didn't actually fully ping. So that was not one that contained titanium, sadly. If you're on the boat, can you put batteries on the scrap things for the next island?
You already put them on the scrap things before you left last time.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. I was like, I would do that, but I don't see any new batteries unless... Like, you've got them on there already. They're halfway down on the charge.
Never mind.
Do it.
Apparently you're completely useless, so...
Hey, you want me to stop putting the rope in the trash things?
Oh my god, this is the only hat for this dude.
Mash the E button! You hold it. No, damn.
Nope.
Rope. We're running out of palm leaves.
Well, might as well,
In other news, we only need 6 more bee jars.
The good news is we don't really need to actually hunt for anything on these islands. We can just go straight to the end.
True.
Because all we need is the note and for it to unlock the island, so... on there. Oh, yeah, let's see. Do we cook stuff? Oh, it was in this.
It's alright. Just
Oh,
grab it.
Whoops.
Ghost riders in the sky.
So often, I'm reminded of. Did you ever watch Farzar?
It's not coming to me. Let me look up and get an image. Where is my fucking... There it is. No, I've never watched that.
You really should. It's ridiculous and hilarious all at the same time. Anyways. So there's this part in it where his dad is terrible and he's an idiot. So, like, the main guy is an idiot, but his dad is just a full-on asshole. And he finds out that his dad has been implanting memories in his brain with this technology so that he didn't actually have to spend time with him. He could just make him think he spent time with him. And so they get into a fight where they're implanting embarrassing memories in each other.
Oh, jeez.
And his son, being the idiot that he looks at him and is like, well, okay, well, you remember that time that you were a stapler, and hits the button. And some dad for the rest of the episode is Ka-Chunk the stapler. It is so dumb and ridiculous and funny at the same time. It's gonna be a minute before we get there.
Yeah, I figured.
Hey Bruce, how you doing, buddy? Oh shit, I forgot. I actually did get more bait. So we can get some more tokens and do that thing.
Life would have been better without Frozen.
No, I mean, that's a fucking fantastic movie. You can go to hell.
Itchy.
No, that person did bring up a good thought, though. What is actually your overall absolute favorite game?
See, the issue is I have favorite games for different things.
Yeah, that's understandable. Like, cause like we could go through categories, but I'm more looking right now for like your truly favorite number one on the whole. Intopus. Wow.
God, it's hard
That
though.
Yeah, it is. Because it doesn't even have to be like necessarily something with a lot of replayability, right? Like,
Sadly for me, it is actually games with a lot of replayability.
I mean, I tend to lean towards that, obviously. But
Like, I don't play story games because usually I play the game, and if I like the game, then I invest myself in the story, and usually that makes the story better for me. So story games, I don't really even play. Like I've watched the fuck out of God of War, right? I have not played a single one since probably the PSP. Oh, that felt good. Fuck.
yeah, there's a lot of games I've watched through, but haven't played much. So, like, the Mass Effect series, I played Mass Effect 3, but I really only watched the story from the first two. And honestly, I could have done without playing the third one. A friend of mine convinced me to try it, and it was like, it was fun. It was alright, but it was one of those games that after a while, you get to the point where you're just kind of like, okay, this is dragging on, and can we just be done eventually for me?
I think my favorite game genre to see new things in is for sure idle games. because I'm always interested in seeing how they do things and just how they play. But so many of those, once you get to the end, it gets so stale. Gosh. God, it's hard trying to think of one.
Yeah, no, it is. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's actually kind of a good thought thing because it's not easy to pick just this is the best game I've ever played. I've played a lot of good games. Played a lot of bad games.
God, I've played a lot of bad games.
Yeah, I've played an awful lot of bad games, unfortunately. But that's life.
I think if I had to say it, like, pain of death if I don't, I think I'd have
somebody's
to...
got a metaphorical gun to your head right now.
Oh god, but I just thought of another one looking at it.
It's gonna pull the trigger any second.
Alright,
You gotta make a decision.
I'm gonna have to go with Warframe, I think, on that.
Okay.
And to put that in perspective, I have... Some of the idle games I played, I have like 2,000 hours in just because a lot of them like keep it up all the time.
Well, yeah.
Warframe doesn't have any idle mechanics. I have 3,496 hours in Warframe from whenever I started playing it back in like probably 2015. It's...
You got me to try it once, and it's like I want to like it. I love the concept and all with it, but it just doesn't. My problem is WoW has ruined me for MMOs, and not because of the new content, because vanilla was just the best, with Wrath of the Lich King being second.
So the issue with Warframe, I think, for a lot of people that like really like it but don't enjoy it, there's difficult content, but there's not like mechanically difficult content. There's no raid or anything. I mean, there used to be, but they were very basic back in the day, even then.
Raid, let's turn off.
Yes, they did. We run out of planes.
Actually run out of planes, or are they just out of planes?
I hope they are just out of planes. I'm filling up one side at the moment and hoping that's the answer.
We don't have to be all the way full, just get us started back up, because we're almost there. Anyways, continue.
It's like WoW has dungeons and raids and stuff, and they have mechanics and like taunting and stuff and traditional tanking style things. Warframe doesn't exactly have that. There are frames that tank and stuff, and they control aggro and things, but they don't have this boss that has a one-shot mechanic that you have to do the specific mechanic for to prevent it from pulling off the one-shot. Like WoW does.
So I'm weird with mechanics because I love games with mechanics. I think for an MMO, if you put too much on gearing and stuff, like it just becomes a snooze fest. But if you need some. So like with WoW, I mean, you saw the other day when we went back to do old content that like WoW is, you can still be killed even though you can kill the boss in like 3 hits or something. Like you can still die to its mechanics, which that's a bit much. I feel like that's not.
So Warframe has kind of a difficulty mode they created. Throughout the base game of Warframe, you'll start at enemies like level 3, And they have a lot of scaling HP and linear growth and stuff to their armor and stats, to the point where, like, when I get to this difficulty, the average enemy, if you do nothing to combat their armor or their resistances, has effectively like 3 billion HP. But that sounds like a lot. It really isn't. Mainly because of all the ways you can mess with shit. They start at level 3 and they get up, and by the time you've completed the game one time around, enemies might be level 75. But then they have this mode called Steel Path, which is it's a difficulty tweak you can put on, and you get more rewards for it. You get increased EXP if you're playing on it when you're not leveled up, and the enemies in there start at 150 and go up from there. And the longer you're in a mission, the higher enemies' levels will get over time, and you'll have to face more and more difficult enemies. Well, not different enemies from where you are. Why am I doing this?
Hello. I was just coming up to get the thingy so we can move on. Really, just one of us lets to do it, especially on this one because it's so short.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to the boat once I remember where it is. Oh, where's the boat? There it is.
I don't know why I picked that up. There was really no need to pick that up.
Go away, Briss. Ow!
Shark said no.
So, God, there's so much gearing you can do in Warframe 2, and the issue a lot of people have with Warframe, like the average player, is there is literally so much you could do that doing it all, even if you're doing optimally, can take you about 6 months. And that's not because, like, it's time gated or anything, or like that. It is literally just, it is that old, and there is that much content, and you don't even need to do it. Warframe is very much a, you log on, do what you want, and you will get rewarded for it.
Yeah.
Like, I've spent so much time decorating my orbiter, because it looks nothing like that when you first start out. Some people do a lot more decoration than I do, and I'm jealous, because I wish I had those skills. I love the word, though.
So like my problem with a lot of MMOs in modern day is that they don't have a proper party structure. And I know a lot of people like that, so I mean, I'm not complaining at the makers of games like, hey, you should do it my way, whatever, but it's just, I like having that structured style of play where there is a tank and a healer and DPS, and they are like specific roles.
Yeah.
And so like basically any MMO that doesn't do that, it's just ruined.
So the issue with Warframe is an MMO, but it's not an MMORPG. It's not trying to be WoW or RuneScape or New World or anything like that. It is just, it wants you to feel like you're a faction in the universe, because you're not, how to describe this? Well, actually, this is probably the best relation you can get. They want you to feel like you're the Terrans in the Protoss and the Zerg world. They don't want you feeling like you're just an individual or the hero. No, you are technically, but like that's a whole different argument. The MMO aspect of Warframe is faction based. Like you are a part of the Tenno, who have been combating the Grineer, the Corpus, the infested plague on the galaxy for over 700 years now. And it's not so much like it has RPG elements, but they're like very, very basic.
Yeah, see, and that's my thing is like games have gotten too dumbed down for me in some ways because I love stats. I love messing with stats. Like even WoW doesn't do it as good as they used to because it makes their if you dumb it down too much, it makes it where you have there's just not enough to do. Like there's one spec that's just the best spec for your class to do DPS, and it changes. And like realistically, most of them are close enough that if you do most of the content, you're fine. But like back in vanilla, you know, if you could get to all three trees at any time.
Yeah.
So you could be a mix of things, and it wasn't necessarily always the most efficient, but you could tailor your play style more. But the thing is like you could have two shamans that were both healing that had somewhat similar gear, but played very differently.
So
Because the rotations and stuff were not nearly as strict as it is now, where it's just like this is the best. Here's your best gear. Here's your best spec. Here's the exact talents that will give you the absolute most of everything, and here's the rotation.
unfortunately, meta will always exist. There's
Yeah, no, I mean that's the thing is there's a meta thing, and I get that. That's fine. Like
Yeah.
there's always going to be an absolute best, but the problem is now like if you're not following that, you're quite often if you're not doing the meta thing, you're just not going to be able to do the higher end content.
there's a few exceptions to that in Warframe, but the general rule of thumb is you can get a Warframe to do anything, and Warframes are not as deep as classes in WoW, but they are all basically a different class. And recently they gave way, well, not recently, it's been a few years now. In my mind, it's recently. They gave ways where each Warframe gave up a certain ability to this system where you could then take that ability and put it on any Warframe over another ability. And that allowed for a lot of customization. And there is a lot of stat alteration you can do, but it's not like min-maxing gear and getting the perfect roll. It's more min-maxing which stats you have. Like, for instance, she no longer works this way. You can just do it innately now. But back in the day, there's a Warframe called Nova, and we have what's power strength, which affects your abilities and makes them stronger or weaker depending on how much power strength you have. Because Warframe has both positive increasing mods for stats as well as negative increasing stats. And Nova had this weird effect where if she had more power strength, she could speed enemies up to 75% faster. And then she had this opposite side of that where if she had negative power strength, she could slow enemies up to 75%. So Warframe players created the Speed Fuzz and the Slow Fuzz, which are Nova builds that would either speed up enemies or slow them down to a crawl, and that had uses in survival where you wanted enemies to come slower to you in some cases. Warframe eventually ended up moving to a point where basically everything is better if it's dead. So eventually only Speedflow remained, really. There's almost never a time for Slovo, which was usually on defense. Back in the day, defense was just 5 minutes, and then the wave would end, and you'd complete it, and then you could go on for the next 5 minutes. Now it's you have to kill all the enemies, and they made Slova not nearly as useful as she used to be, which is a shame. I really want them to get more CC mechanics back into the game. But, like, there's a lot of weird and intricate builds you can do with every Warframe, and every Warframe is a little bit different than the next one. Some of them are better at some things, and some of them
So
are
I
worse
can
at
kill
some things.
Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, again, it's no slight on the game. It's a popular game and it's great for some people, but my thing is without, I enjoy doing weird things. So like when I do D&D campaigns, whether I'm a DM or I'm just a player, I enjoy doing these weird things. It's one of the reasons I like the Bard class so much, is because it's so open to doing so many weird things and you can make it work. And it's like, that's cool. And I love that. And you can also get like pre-canned whatever that's much more optimized, you know? But because there's a meta in that too. There's always a meta in everything, right? There is a way of getting the absolute max DPS, but the reality is max DPS. Uh-oh, maybe messed up here. Yeah, max DPS is not necessarily, okay, he's dead.
Okay.
What you're going for in games. So utility is important, and it's important in games like WoW. I enjoy utility stuff. So like earlier when I was on my paladin and I was running around in the raid, there's this thing where he throws it's the first boss in the raid where he throws that sticky stuff down.
Yep.
And then everybody's got to run and grab stuff and then go to the boss. Well, I'm on my paladin, so instead of grabbing the stuff, what I did is I hit, there's a movement thing that you can do that frees you from all stuff and one other person, and then you can't be rooted or whatever for like 8 seconds. So what I did is I hit that button and then I ran around and got rid of all the sticky spots just so that everybody could run free between the boss and all, and it saves time. And it's like that kind of utility is important. I wasn't the highest on DPS, which has nothing to do with having that ability, but
Yeah.
because some people could DPS a little bit faster, but I'm clearing stuff out and it's important to the raid. And I enjoy that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, games are more and more. I don't think we need another llama, to be honest. Games more and more are dumbing that kind of stuff down and making it much more about, like, no, really, you need to just DPS as much as possible. And the ones where there's not even, like, tank mechanics. Oh my god, I'm so bad with the bow and arrow in this one. Like, without the good hard tank mechanics and stuff. Ow! It makes it even worse on that kind of stuff. And so it's the reason I have problems with games like that and all. Anthem was like that.
God,
Anthem was a little bit better.
I
because
had such high hopes for Anthem and had such good Iron Man mode too.
Yeah, I did too, but it's whatever. But like that was my problem with Guild Wars and stuff, is it's just there's not a strong tanking mechanic. And it's like
they've apparently changed that from what I've been hearing from a few people that still play Guild Wars. I still love that my Great Sword Necromancy tank build became the meta for Necromancy. Like, you can't tank with Necromancy. Yes, you can. Just do this. It's like, everyone, wait, you can do that?
Yeah. But like they didn't have a strong tanking mechanic. And it's like I like to heal. Well, the problem is in those games, it's almost like everybody's expected to handle their own healing and debuffs and, you know, be tanky enough to deal with stuff and all. And like, yeah, you're gonna have one person who's really hard to kill and he'll go in first just so that he, you know, somewhat tanks things. but it's not the same. It's like, for me, I enjoy the dedicated tank versus DPS versus healing because it allows me to play more the role I want to play rather than an every role type of thing. And you know my issue with Twitch games because it's like games are more and more, even MMOs are more and more becoming a Twitch reaction type thing rather than a strategy type of thing.
Yeah.
Which as I age is just I can't do it the way I used to, so it's just
BDO walks
not
that
as
fine
fun.
line. Definitely in PvP, it's very Twitch based. But like,
Well, I mean, to be fair, in PvP, I'm never going to complain about Twitch-based gaming in PvP because it's just that's what PvP is. Always going to be pretty much. There's some games that make it a little slower, but
see, the issue for Warframe, I think, is it's just it has nothing challenging on a dungeon level. Like, it still has that utility stuff, and it still has, well, right now the healer sucks, but she's getting a pretty big rework that sounds like she might actually go back to being a healer that isn't detrimental by being on the team. Just the way her mechanics work with slowing down missions, and unfortunately, this is one of my big gripes of the work. God, this island sucked. Uh,
yeah, it's not great up top either.
one of my big issues with Warframe is it moved to the point where all the objectives are murder based. And as I was saying, the defense used to be time based. You just had to hold out for a certain amount of time and then you won that segment of the mission. Now it's you have to kill 5 waves and you have to kill everything in the 5 waves. So there's a frame named Vauban, which was basically also known as the god of CC, who could make basically black holes and keep the enemy there forever, is completely useless, and he used to be the king of defense because he could make enemies unable to exist in the game.
I
They
don't know
no
what they
longer
did with their
participated.
physics in this that allows you to just like press backwards into a mountain and go straight down without taking damage, but I love it.
Yeah.
It's just like you just go off, and as long as you're hitting back towards it, you just like slowly descend.
Want you to know that I saw like no seaweed on this island either so far. Oh, there's some metal.
I mean, we're doing okay on seaweed to be fair, but uh-oh, Sharky. No, 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 no. Look, all I got is arrows, so we're gonna have to come up with a deal here.
I think if you could get to Steel Path, you'd like Warframe. Because that is definitely more challenging than not Steel Path, and that's kind of where you start needing people to actually run utility and support. Like, you don't need it if you know what you're doing, but if you're not knowing what you're doing, it helps a lot. But that is like, I want to say it's like halfway through the game at this point. No, it's probably not that far. It's probably a quarter if you rush it.
Well, I mean, it's still it.
I like Warframe because it's just there's so much you can do, and there's so many different ways you can do it.
Well, so like, that's my thing. Is like, I super enjoy WoW. I do. I love it. It's probably the game I've put the most hours to ever from anything, and I've played a handful of MMOs. And it's just so like the new delves are amazing. I know you're not in love with them because
I'm not in
you're
love with the
bad and you
bosses.
feel
The
bad.
rest of it is fine.
But once you get used to the bosses, it's really not bad. It just
To be fair, it's only really the fun. This fucking island is huge and basically empty. I hate this. I'm still swimming around it, by the way.
but like I love delves. I've always loved raiding since vanilla. And I have a love-hate with Mythic Plus because I love the idea of it, and I enjoy playing it when I'm playing with, like, the last time I did it was, excuse me, you had introduced me to the guild that we're in now, And I was like, it was the first time I was really gonna try Mythic Plus back in Dragonflight and all, and it was fun.
Yeah.
When I was with a full guild group, but outside of when I was playing it with a full guild group, doing it with a pickup group is just the worst.
Yeah, it's just
I mean,
toxic
like,
player issue mainly, I think, though.
yo, yeah, no, it's not like it's not a mechanics thing. It's just the way toxic players are, right? But like, um, there's so many issues with it. So like, early mythics are easy because you know, if you played other content like delve content and raiding content like I have, you're geared. Like my new character, my new paladin is like almost 600 high level. Almost
Oh,
600 high level, which doesn't take. Yeah, it is.
okay.
I had to get it as soon as I had excess stuff. But like, so like you're geared, and if you want to do Mythic Plus, gearing matters, of course. It always matters to some degree, but the early ones are easy because everybody's sort of over geared for it. But then when you get to the top end, there's this really awful culture because you'll get into one, and because the way keys work and stuff, it's just like you'll get started, and if anyone, tank, healer, any of the five, just decide that they don't like how this group is working, they just leave. And the problem is you can't sub people out in Mythic Plus once you've started.
Yeah. Hello, Bruce.
So it's like once someone leaves, you're just done, and you got to start over, and it's awful. And so it's just one of those things that I would probably not get into other than maybe lower level mythics without at least like, you know, as a healer having a tank like you, and then like my wife could be DPS, and then maybe if we found one more DPS that we knew, like filling that last spot, maybe. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's even worth. Oh, you out?
Yeah,
done?
I'm done. I mean, there might be like a little bit off to the back here.
I don't know.
I don't care. I got 25 metal out of the island at the end.
I'll hit us to the next story island really quickly so we can get through all of this.
I'm gonna make another scrap tool. So this is gonna sound like bullshit when I say it. Warframe's player base might have a 0.1% toxicity. And I think there's probably 50k players playing at the moment. I think you might be able to find 50 toxic people among those people. It just, the way it's built, it just doesn't have that mentality in it. Like, sure, you might load up a mission, see that someone leaves, but usually there's a reason, like they got the wrong loadout and they want to switch their loadout, and people can drop in and join out in some cases as long as the mission's objective hasn't been completed yet. You can play solo if you want to, you don't even have to play with people. God, my brain, where is I going with this? Oh, something I wanted to say a while ago. I like WoW's dungeon and raids, but I think their classes are very generic compared to other MMOs these days.
Yeah, well, and I've said that before too. Is, you know, back when WoW first started, obviously it was innovative in all the way it did all of its stuff. I mean, it was EverQuest was really the only other big one before it, and so like what they had done was fairly new, and it's all based on D&D. let's face it. Like everything comes from that's RPG based is D&D based. But starting with as soon as Activision came in, so like the very first expansion after Wrath of the Lich King, which was what, Cataclysm?
Was it really that long ago?
Yeah, I think so. Wasn't it?
Nah, I feel like it was after Mists of Pandaria.
No, Cataclysm was in fact after. It was between Wrath and Mists of Pandaria. Yeah, yeah. So Cataclysm was the first Activision Blizzard expansion.
Yeah.
And it's where they started a whole bunch of new stuff. And some of it was good, some of it was definitely for sure not good. But it's really when they started dumbing down and, well, not, I don't want to say dumbing down. It's where they started blurring the lines between everything so that the classes didn't matter as much. And I won't say they didn't have solid reason behind it, because the whole point was that, like, if you're on a druid, there was a time where it was very difficult. You were just absolutely the best in raids, and doing dungeons was really tough because you were very heal over time heavy and not very upfront heavy, and they're still somewhat that way, but to balance things out, they had been, slowly pulling all of the classes together to where they're sort of too similar to make sure that they're all viable in all situations. And I understand that's solid reason. I can't argue with their reason behind it. But what it does is it really makes the game significantly more bland than it was before. Just because it doesn't feel that different between classes. Like, there's some thematic differences, but, now, having said that, they've undone a lot of that recently.
Oh yeah, the Talent Tree remake in Dragonflight was definitely much better than what it was prior to that.
So it's getting better again.
I'm just saying, the only thing I really like about WoW, besides Dragonflight flying, which, dear God, may be one of the best versions of Mount Travel.
I don't have a plastic. I must have gotten it out of something.
Probably. Might be my favorite mount version of Travel. The only really thing I like about WoW are the raids and dungeons. Like the rest, well, I guess delves too. I should add that. Sorry. When I say dungeons, I kind of think of delves. They're basically dungeons.
They're like miniature dungeons.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they're built. Is basically to be miniature dungeons.
So I like those, but the rest of WoW is, well, it basically doesn't matter to me. I like DK just because it feels the most fluid of the tank classes. And I do also like the theme, but I would really say
I was going to say
that
the theme of Death Knight, is what you really like. Come on,
yeah. It's definitely the thing that made me start it, but like, of the few other tank classes I played, which I still need to try another Druid again. Because I do like the concept of Druid tanking, the way it is in WoW.
It's really strong right now. It is. It's really strong.
But what?
Grim?
What?
Never mind. It got unclogged. We had a raft caught on the front of us.
Oh.
But it slowly made its way through the wall, so it's fine. Everything's fine.
But they're so, like, for instance, when I was playing the Protective Warrior, other than the fact that I was a dragon, it really didn't feel like I was doing anything different than the DK. which could just be a matter of visual effects. Like maybe WoW needs more visual effects because I don't know. It's this weird place where I've played so many action MMOs now that I'm trying to figure out what it is specifically about them that I like more than tab target only MMOs. And now they're doing this weird thing where they are trying to blend tab target and action MMO, and I'm not sure that's going very well.
But yeah, so it's a struggle because everybody wants to make a game their way. They don't want to copy WoW. They don't want to be like this other thing that's been done before. And don't get me wrong, I totally get that. You got to make it your own. But at the same time, they're trying to make it their own in weird ways. And at the end of the day, they're missing what made WoW and what makes things like D&D and Pathfinder so good. And it comes down to player choice to a large degree, and the feeling like I'm playing in a certain way that I want to play, because I identify with the shamanistic way of playing, and I enjoy it. And when they had back before Dragonflight, a couple of times I tried to play it, it was just so bland and felt so much like others, and it just like back in vanilla and through Wrath, like managing your totems was a big thing, which is an important part of shamanism and stuff anyways.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where like you really didn't have to manage totems, you would just throw one down and stuff, and it was like it was okay, but it didn't feel very thematic. And so you still don't have to manage them, which is in the same way, which is probably good, because like before, if you had a water totem down, you could not put another water totem down, it would erase the old one. And so like if you had a healing stream totem down and you put down a what is it, healing tide totem, it would get rid of the healing stream. So now you can, like, if you have the thing where you can have an extra healing stream totem, like where you can hold more than something, like you can have a counter on it. If you can have like 2 of the healing stream, so you can put both of those down and the mana tide. I like that change, so you don't have to actually manage them by that. But I'm glad that totems are now back to being an important part of your strategy. I think it's got a long ways to go to get back to where it was, and I'm hoping that Microsoft buying them is going to freak them back up to do that.
I hope so.
I'm concerned because most of what's left at WoW is really the Activision people, or Blizzard rather, is the Activision people.
Yeah.
Which means that the WoW dev team is, most of the original developers are just gone. And you've got Activision team members, but I'm hoping being under Microsoft will allow them to go back to being more the way that they were.
So, I don't feel like there's one exception I can think of, but they go at it from a different way. There are about, I think, almost 50 Warframes in Warframe now, which are essentially classes. And I feel like all of them are unique compared to the next one. Like, some of them overlap and do the same thing, but they do it in different ways. I can't think of one specifically off the top of my head. But the only one which argues on that it's not unique is Goss and Volt. And to describe Volt, Volt is essentially either Quicksilver or the Flash, whichever one you want to pick. That's what it is. And Goss is kind of the same thing, but he does it from the perspective of he's Iron Man, basically. He's got jet engines on himself, and he's trying to push himself faster. Whereas Volt is like lightning and the Flash kind of thing. But they're the only warfaces where I could go like, oh yeah, they're similar. So like Goss is more bursts of speed, whereas Volt is I am the Speed Force and I'm always speed. I don't know. It's okay. Well, this island sucks. We're down below. Fuck that.
Well, this is a story
Yeah.
island.
Oh, I gotta go. Oh no, you're doing the boat. I'm just gonna stay here then. Fuck that. You don't need my help for that one, do you?
Actually, you probably go a lot faster.
Alright.
Came and helped on this one.
They plant the pineapples in water.
Make sure you have food and water, and you're probably going to want to make yourself a good light helmet. So I mean, if there's one thing D&D and Pathfinder and those sorts of things have proven in the past, and unfortunately even they're getting away from it because welcome to corporate America. It's really expensive to make a whole bunch of stuff. But like one of the big things with those is the ease of adding more classes and making them feel good. Because like they share a lot of abilities and stuff. That's whatever, but it's when I get back to it, that the game I was talking about making, you know, a class doesn't have to have completely 100% unique set of abilities that only they can use to feel like their own thing. And that's like, did I get the blue key? I should have gotten that. And that's the thing is like with Pathfinder, no I didn't. Where's the blue key at? I've forgotten. And that's the thing that like D&D and Pathfinder do really well is because there it is. Oh no, that's the red key. That's the thing they do really well is leaving stuff fairly open and allowing you, so like there's a whole lot of homebrew content out there. And because it's parts, there's the bolt cutters, mechanical parts. I'm trying to remember where all this stuff is so we can hurry up and get out of here.
There's the blue cube.
Sweet. Easy.
Shit, I had a pretty good weapon though. Can I make a titanium sword? Do we have the titanium for that?
Yeah, go for it. I made one.
Just thought I'd double check before I use it.
I've been getting as much titanium as I can, so. But like,
go ahead.
The thing is like, Blizzard's always been big on like trying to keep stuff balanced, and I understand all that stuff and all, but I talk to my son about this all the time. There's like two ways to balance things. one, like Blizzard is doing, is to try and minimize the amount of stuff you have going on. So, like, minimize the number of classes you have. So, just, or to go the complete opposite and make this giant mess of stuff where there's just so many things that while the meta will shift and all, because you have to admit that at the end of the day, there's no way to 100% balance any game
No.
ever. It just doesn't work, right? So, like, if you have enough stuff and different content and things that to choose from and abilities and stuff, the way like D&D and Pathfinder used to have, you get a balance in a different way because there's just so much access to so many different things that it sort of balances itself in that you just have access to so much that it almost balances itself just because there's so much stuff there. Because if you're, I don't know, a fighter in D&D, you have access to so many things and you can mix and match classes in there. So like you can take a class level in a different class or whatever. So like depending on how the campaign's going, you can just pick up stuff from other classes if you need to handle certain off cases that maybe normally you wouldn't have to deal with, but you have to deal with there. But because you have access to all these things all at once, it balances itself. So like you got to tweak stuff, and in a computer game, because there's so much more going on, you're going to have to tweak more to keep it balanced, and that's fine. But giving people access to more stuff, oh, that's the bomb one. Have we got enough stuff to make the bomb?
Really? I killed you not 2 seconds ago, asshole.
Well, I hate to tell you, but it disagrees.
I fucking leave.
Hey, that's me. Pick it up.
I did. Don't worry.
Waste not, want not.
So, with the exception of a few classes, because some classes have abilities that are multi-abilities based on how you cast them, Warframe sticks to a 4 ability per Warframe regiment. Some of them go up to 8. I think one of them has 9. But the majority of them have 4. And then they select, they have the system to take some abilities and put them on other ones, and they select one ability from each frame that is going to be able to be moved like that, so that it's, you don't get to the point where you make one frame irrelevant by giving its best ability to another frame, which does most of what that frame does in a different way. So their balance is more, they try to avoid making anything the optimal way to play. They don't really care about how strong you get, they just don't want something to be so good that it's to the point where it forces a meta.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is like, so what they've done to keep the complication down makes a lot of sense. If you only have so many abilities and you can pick and choose to some degree, but okay, you use this. Did you grab the parts for the bomb while you were in there?
I think I did.
Dude, apparently on hard difficulty, you can just kill these things every like 3 seconds and
They're
just have an
fucking
infinite
elite.
amount of food. It's one of those things that is just so weird that in the name of balance, so many things are dumbing so much stuff down when, okay, what do we have? We need electrical wires, lighter, gas tank, and bullet. And we have electrical wires, gas tank, lighter, so we need the bullet. Where the hell is the bullet?
I have not seen that yet. don't think I
I'm
found
sure
it
we've-
last time, so
I'm sure we've walked past it.
probably.
Is the thing.
Really? Motherfucker.
I don't remember. We
Warframe's...
did this not that long ago.
Recently, Warframe's been getting better about high-end content. They've done a lot of bosses lately, like just bosses, not like dungeons or anything. And I'm back in the day, they did have one kind of dungeon thing with mechanics, but they were how to describe this mechanic? There were these plates, and you had to get everyone to stand on the plates while some other people did stuff, and they had to just sit there, which isn't okay as a mechanic, but not to the degree they did it. So they eventually took that away because just they didn't see a lot of people playing it because it was really hard because it was a 12-man thing, and you had to get 4 people to sit on plates while 8 other people did stuff, and then you'd move over to a different section and have 4 people stand on plates again, and 8 people did stuff, and then you'd fight the boss, and then you'd have to stand on plates to remove the shield and have them damage it from there and stuff. Have you found the bullet?
No, and I honestly don't remember where it was
Or
the last time we did this like 2 weeks ago or something.
Oh, there they are.
And it's oh,
It was on
okay,
the fucking
cool.
bar.
All right. Well, do you want to go down and make the bomb, or do you want me to do it?
Where is it at down below?
It's down below in the last room. So like towards the front of the ship, last room. Yep.
Oh,
There you go.
wait. Oh, okay. No, that's the bathroom. Either going the right way or the wrong way.
You're going the right way, but it's not in the bathroom. Just keep going. And then all the way into that hall.
Oh, I see.
Nope.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm really hoping with their new update that it might be leaning back to doing dungeon content now that they, I don't know for sure, but some people are speculating all of the leaving, the company leaving and firing shit has been going on, and some people have started to suspect that Warframe actually hired a good amount of both Bungie and Blizzard devs.
Well, I mean, so Blizzard devs have been leaving since a while back because I think they stayed as long as they did because they were like the original Blizzard team that made Warcraft and then World of Warcraft and stuff, and there's like a lot of camaraderie and all with it. And I think they stayed a lot longer than they would have just for each other.
We done here?
Because, yeah, once they started going, they have been leaving in.
Well, they also have
Big
those
numbers.
layoffs they do every once in a while, and I think Digital Extremes, I say Warframe, but they actually do have multiple companies, has been taking advantage of those and buying talent, like raids and stuff, and I think they're pushing for it. I don't know. I think if you found a Warframe you'd like, it would help you a lot.
The
But not
problem is it's just the way the
entirely
game
sure
plays.
which one.
First off, 4 abilities is not near enough for me. I can't get enough utility with that.
Well, I mean,
I
4
like
abilities is the normal DPS tricks. The utility friends are usually the ones with 6 and 7. Fucking Avara's over there with 7. Trinity has 4 currently, 6 on rework. Okay. Wisp, if you count the flowers as different abilities, has 7. I think Jade has 6. These are all just the utility friends. Oberon's the only support friend with 4, and he's old. He needs a refresh.
But yeah, I like deep RPG games. I like stats. I like messing with that stuff and figuring things out and all. And it's just
Well, it's got the
games have
stats then.
gotten so far away from that that it just. That's it. I still enjoy WoW. Obviously, I love raiding and delves are fantastic. Um, some delves are more fun than others.
Yeah, Warframe's definitely got the stats then. Fucking spend 2 weeks min-maxing a thing to get the most useful damages and most energy efficient. Fucking M1 8-ads build from Mesa.
Things are running out of power. We've got to get those beehives going. It's killing
We
me.
are
I bet you
almost
it's-
to our next beehive.
I bet you we can get. I don't know how we got bees in the first place if we can't find it. But I bet you it's the you have to go through the island with the bears,
Probably.
and then it opens up because that's where you get your first bit of honey is there. I mean, that's, I've made games for years, mostly just to play around. This one that I've been working on, I've taken a short break from it just with my hand surgery, and it's selling season, so my business and all has to take priority. But, like, I'm trying to go down a rabbit hole with stats and quite a bit of other stuff. I'm struggling to decide which direction to take it in some respects with certain things, because, like, I know abilities and certain ways of playing are important to me, and I really want to nail tanking and healing and DPS as separate entities for sure.
The main thing with tanking, and some games are pretty bad about it. Elder Scrolls Online, blocking is not tanking; it is just blocking. Is aggro control, and I would argue interrupting should be a main thing of tanking, with the exception of like spell-based interruptions. I'm talking like parrying or stunning a thing. But like, if you want to interrupt with magic, then I'm fine with that being on magic users and stuff. But fucking ESO is the worst, because in ESO it is literally block, hit, block, hit, and that will tank every boss in the entirety of Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah. I enjoyed that to some degree just because it was, free to play once you bought whatever content you wanted to buy access to, but no monthly subscription. It's just, there's not, like you said, it's just, the dungeons were so simplified that it ruined it for long-term play for me. But I had originally started building this more like a Vampire Survivor type of thing. And I'm rethinking that to some degree.
Oh, yeah.
Because that style isn't really what's important. What's important to me is nailing the other aspects, but also making it playable solo, of course. I still like the idea of it being these sort of contained runs and all, where like you just drop in, you do the thing, and you survive or you don't survive after a certain amount of time, move on. And I like that, but I liked how Riot did their version with the stats outside of it better. So I'm
I believe
trying
they
to figure
call
out.
that term meta progression systems.
So I think I'm leaning towards some sort of hybrid version of that, but the thing is, if you want to do it solo, I don't know if I'm going to want to just have an NPC that follows you around to take on a different role, or if you know, I'm not sure how I want the single player to work out, is what it comes down to at the moment, which is making it somewhat difficult to figure out on the whole.
Ooh, might need to play World of Warships. They're doing a Star Trek event at the moment, and the commanders you can get are Riker or Worf.
Well, no, this looks like those trees look like the type that you get on the islands that have bees. I took the battery off.
Why would you do that shit?
I hate myself. Return us to go to this island and see. Because I can't tell you how much if we've unlocked bees that I don't want to go to this next story island. Yeah, this definitely looks like one of the bee islands. Finish up this. Do you know what time of day it is?
In game, no
Are we
idea.
getting, trying to figure out if we're getting close to night or what, because I don't want to go kill Bruce for you and then have it get dark, so it's useless, and we gotta do it again.
I think we're midday if the sun is realistic.
Yeah. Okay, let's stop away real quick. Oh, I don't need to use that. Shoot. Something here. I'm gonna go. Oh wait, nope. I need the stops. I'm not too worried about the other stuff for now. I just want to see if there's bees, and I think there are because it looks like the right place for it. So I'll kill the Bruce for you real quick.
Dankeschön.
Okay, so all that to say, you think probably Warframe is your favorite.
Yeah. Overall, like I have to pick a complete favorite. Warframe's definitely up there. There's so much you can do. I mean, my only complaint isn't I would like dungeons. That's really all I feel is missing from it. Unlike BDO, there is end-game PvE content, and it is worth doing, but they're more... I would say the end-game PvE content in Warframe is more Dynasty Warriors than it is... something else. I mean,
Okay.
that's actually kind of why I got into Warframe back in the day. I think I searched up for a game that was very similar to like Dynasty Warriors but sci-fi, and Google gave me Warframe back then.
All right, he's dead. So
Right.
I am going to ask you two others. I'm going to tell you that one of them is obviously I'm going to have to ask you what the game that's just the worst game you've ever played. But more importantly than that, what is the game that has disappointed you the most?
Anthem.
So it's not necessarily
Anthem.
okay. That's what I figured you were going to say. That's mine too. It's easily the most disappointing game.
It could have been so good.
Yeah, it had so much going for it, and it is so beyond frustrating that it went the way it did. Especially because
its
like, if you weren't
customization
listening-
system, the flying was so good, the combat, some of it was mid, but like it was also chunky and good. And then
Yeah.
they just no updates, horrible loot system. Cataclysm was not very cataclysmic. I've seen worse thunderstorms.
Yeah, that was weird. Like you felt it coming, and it was like, oh, it felt really good as it was coming, and then when it actually got added, it was like, well, okay, so it's just a storm. Got it. Cool. This isn't really. But,
know-
oh god.
I know a lot of people said the story was bad in Anthem. It was not. Like, it was not a 10 out of 10 story, but it was definitely a good 6 or 7.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I would say the story certainly did not detract from it. What detracted was mostly for me. What ruined the game was the loot system was horrendous.
Oh, that reminds me of something hilarious. So First Descendant is very Anthem-like, as actually a good way of describing it. But, like, gotcha elements on your characters kind of thing. Do you want to guess the villain's name?
Of what?
First Descendant. And it's a very generic name.
No idea.
Greg.
Okay, I wasn't thinking you meant that level of Jesus. Okay, the bears just respawn almost instantly. Got it. Everything respawns fast on this difficulty. Okay.
Duly noted.
I wasn't thinking you meant that level of generic.
Yeah, it's fucking horrible. It's my biggest complaint about that game. Like, the story died to me the moment I knew the villain's name was Greg.
It's actually really bad.
Yeah,
It's really bad.
It's horrible. It's like, oh, hello, Greg. Like, the moment you mentally go for that connection to that movie, the story is dead to you.
So yeah, I mean I would agree that for sure Anthem is the most disappointing game in my lifetime, because it, I can't say it's the worst game because there were so many
No,
things
there
that
was
were
a lot
so
of good about it.
good, but just the things that were bad were so bad that it just ruined it. And the worst part was to see the devs completely ignore the community
And
because the
double
community
down
was
on
like,
it sometimes.
yeah, because the community would be like, well, wait, the loot. Here's the issue with the loot. We all hate this specific thing, and then like you'd have a million posts after it agreeing with the person. Which, like, come on. In what community have you ever seen someone complain about something and then the community just be like, "Yeah, no, he's right. This is what's wrong." And there was so much of that, and then they would just ignore it or
Actually,
continue to double down on the system that they had. And
I
it's
know
like,
you
"Well, what are
asked
you
that
doing?"
question rhetorically, but it is happening a lot in RuneScape at the moment with their microtransactions.
Okay, well, but people don't like microtransactions. So.
Well, the issue is that RuneScape will do a survey, like, do you want less microtransactions? Do you want more microtransactions? Such as that. And it vehemently gets voted less, remove some actually. And then they'll turn around and add more, and the community's like, you just don't listen! Why do you ask surveys if you're not going to listen?
Because the encounters have already decided the fate and where they're going with it.
Unfortunately.
They're just making there's this whole thing in, well, basically everything, not just games, but there's the whole like um, giving people the illusion of control, which is sounds like what they're doing there is just like they want you to feel like you're a part of the process, but then the reality is they've already made the decision.
Yeah.
They don't really want your opinion. But no, like what I meant was it wasn't even polls and stuff. It was just people on community boards saying I hate this. Why are you doing it this way? And then suggesting a way, and then people would just come on and be like, yes, this would work. Like, and it's just you rarely get that level of just when someone creates a post in a community like that of people just getting on board and being like, yeah, that would be great. Just do that thing. And then they would turn around and be like, or we could do this other thing, which is what we want to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, who the fuck is running your company at this point? Because you're not listening to the people who spend the money on it.
God, there were so many good things about Anthem though, like their customization, the flying,
Just the feel of it.
some of the weapons.
The feel of it and the combat and stuff. It was so frustrating trying to gear up because the way the gearing dropped and all was just like,
Yeah.
it just felt terrible. Okay, so I got enough bees there to get us 2 more beehives.
Yeah, I see that.
So anyways, I'm not going to the next story island. Because we now obviously have access to bees, so that's done. I assume you're down. You're
Yes,
done.
there was basically nothing. Yeah, no, Anthem is easily the biggest disappointment. Could have been so good.
Okay, so having gotten through that, what is the worst game you ever played? Like the game that you spent money on it and you wanted to like it, and you just, even though you spent money on it, you just couldn't.
Let me go see, because if I've done it, is there a way to view my Steam reviews? Because if it was that bad, I definitely would have let the review.
I'm trying to think.
Right hand and okay. Steam.
Because like I've played a lot of disappointing games, but just I can't think of one offhand that's just like it's just a bad game. And I don't know. I just can't think of anything offhand.
Oh no, I do have one. I love idle games. I've played every single one. 2 of the biggest ones I've ever played were Cookie Clicker, which was one of the first ones, and Clicker Heroes 1, which was one of the second ones, and was basically really annoyed with all of our high schools because we had found ways to get around for the school security to get Clicker Heroes to play. And even on the restart, we still had Clicker Heroes to play, and the fucking people hated us. Clicker Heroes 2 is a beautiful, ugly piece of garbage. It is nowhere near as good. The talents suck. Like, it looks pretty. It sucks to play. And it costed $30. They never finished it. They never fixed it. They dropped it and refused to work on it. And as a long-time Clicker Hero 1 player, I feel hurt and betrayed.
Okay.
Then Dynasty Warriors 9 was pretty bad too. What's your worst game?
I'm trying to think. There's been plenty that were like. I mean, I've refunded games in the past just because it's not for me.
Yeah.
But that's not the same thing as playing a game and just being like, "This is trash. I hate this," and it's just worthless. And I'm trying to think if there is. I had the idea of one, but you were in the middle of a rant. And I didn't want to.
Oh, sorry.
That. I know. No. Don't say you're sorry. We're in the middle of a rant. It's fine. Get it.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah.
Ah.
I can't think of what I was thinking before.
Cold. That's okay. It happens.
There's been a lot of games where it was just like, I know I'm one of those people. I love buying early access games. I do. I think it's great because you're supporting the person, whoever's behind it, and you take a risk when you're supporting early access, and you have to admit that risk to yourself when you get it, because there's some that break my heart, like Stonehearth.
God.
Why, Riot? Why?
Yeah, things like that just break my heart. Where it's still a good game. It's just I wish that they had actually been able to finish it. I've had a lot of those with early access.
Yeah.
But again, like I know going into something, if I'm supporting it in early access, I am literally trying to support that person or people and their desire to create something. And I understand that that could mean that it never gets finished, or any number of things could happen that make it just end up not being what you want or whatever. There's a lot of gems that come out of it, like Oxygen not included. I don't know how many hours I've got in that game. It is a significant number.
Yeah, I've got most of my hours are in survival games, with the exception of Warframe. Like, I haven't listed by hours, so I can go look. Well, sorry, most of my numbers are in fucking idle games. Terraria's got 1.1k, Ark has 911, 7 Days to Die has 800, wow, V Rising has almost 300, Stardew Valley, for being a very simple, relaxing game, has 350. Fallout 76, which is survival, quote unquote, is 218. Grounded has 200 hours. So like, I love survival games, and I'll play the fuck out of them. I'll try most of them, as long as they don't like try to encourage only PvP and stuff like that. Cause fuck it, I could care less about PvP in those games. I'm there for the building, the taming, whatever the mechanic they've decided to introduce in it. Usually it's taming, because everyone wants to be the next Ark.
I mean, fucking Ark is a great game, and is certainly something worth aspiring to.
Yeah.
Hey, Grim, can you fill this in?
Are you talking back where you were starting to build stuff?
Yeah, I've got another section
Alright,
safetied
sure.
off. It's not quite actually safetied off, but it will be shortly. Yeah, I love survival games. While I've modded, you know, I've done the modding thing on it before, like with 7 Days to Die and all.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to make one day, but you need to make that good. You need either
Years.
a ridiculous amount of time or a really good team, neither of which I have. And you know, ADHD doesn't help with that, but
No, it's not. We're still planning to go to 10 beehives first, right?
yeah.
Okay, just checking. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that just got us a good boost towards the 10. Did you move one of the beehives?
Yes, I moved both of them. I moved one of them because they were slightly not close enough to get the most optimal amount. I need to test that third one on the right will have honey. It should,
For some
if
reason,
I
I was thinking
understand
we
it.
should have.
Go
Oh
ahead.
no, I only got enough for 2.
Yeah, we're close to a dwarf one though. Next harvest, I think we'll have a dwarf if I... Let's see. If that works the way it should have 6... where's the bees? There's the bees. No, we'll need 2 harvests before another one. Pain.
Well, maybe now that we've unmarked it, we'll see more islands with it. We got this island coming up on our left. Oh, yep, it's got the right trees on it, so this one will have them too.
Is it the aspen trees you look for?
Yeah.
I don't like how they did aspens in this game as someone that actually has aspens nearby.
Well,
Like, they
look
look
at
like an
Linda.
aspen tree, don't get me wrong. But they're not done like aspen trees.
There's enough metal. Let me put it away though. There. You can, when you get to the back with the protection, I think there's like one
Yeah,
that's
there's
missing.
one.
So,
Done. We are getting low on wood though.
well, once probably want to drift for a while, just because I don't want to keep spending money on the engines. So, once we're done with this, we'll probably just let it drift, sail. Because we keep using a lot of wood on that.
Yeah.
I don't want to get back to doing the thing we wanted to do, which is building.
I think there is a clock. I wonder if that tells actual in-game time. Yeah, there's a clock.
Come here, Bruce. Bruce.
Okay, If that's accurate, it is almost 4 p.m.
And kill Bruce real quick so we can go, because we should have just enough light left for you to do what you need to do.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure this island's going to be all that great underneath.
So far, not looking great.
Bruce is dead. I'm gonna go up and get the bees. Yeah, I'm actually looking. Subnautica 2 cannot come fast enough.
Yeah, especially if they're actually going to do multiplayer this time. I know they didn't do it originally because they didn't think people would want it, but they've obviously seen the success of the multiplayer mod.
Well, I mean, there's technical aspects to it too. Like it's not super easy to make a multiplayer game. So
I think they're big enough they can hire the staff at this point. I know people hate Epic, but Epic seems to be the only one that has like nailed down cross save or well, I don't know if they do the cross save. I know they do crossplay between like PC and Xbox and PlayStation. So whenever I see that it's done by like Epic Games, like it's going to actually work out of the box and not be like 2 months later down the road.
My problem with Epic Games is just that they had such a good game, and then they were like, let's PUBG it. And so people don't even realize what Fortnite was originally. Oh, that's a bear.
I did like the original one. Unfortunately, it's like gotten like no content.
Well, I mean, why would you?
I think they've actually stripped it down from the original game, and now the building is like custom maps for Fortnite, not the original survival.
I mean, because that was the thing. Is originally it was you plop down, you build stuff, you defended against waves of enemies, and survived. And then you had like a home base you could build and stuff, which was all really cool. And I was looking forward to the development of it. And then they're like, let's add a PUBG mode, and they added that, and that got so popular that they just destroyed. I don't even think the original is. I don't think you can play it.
I don't think so anymore. I don't know that for sure because I haven't tried, but I think it's gone.
I mean, it's not that I even have anything against. So there's no bees on this island. Nope, there they are. Okay.
Sweet.
It's not even that I have anything against the way Fortnite plays now. It's fun for people. It's great and all. It's just I have a thing against it from the point of view of like I had a game that I really enjoyed that they deleted basically.
It feels like a betrayal of the contract agreement.
That's like life.
You bought a product and then it turned out the product was not that product anymore.
Yeah.
It's basically how anyone feels about once they learn that they don't actually buy something, they buy licenses to something, which is horrible.
Yeah, I think the right lawsuit is gonna eventually kill that though, because
well, the dominoes are starting to fall. Fucking California's law where they have to declare that it's not a product, it's actually a license. That got to the point where even Steam has that little disclaimer now already, just because California put it out. So we're starting the dominoes on it, I think.
The issue comes down to, like, I get you're buying a license, blah blah blah, like a World of Warcraft character, right? You don't own that character; they own that character, and it's like, so there's a thing when I was growing up, and you probably saw it too, where like these big trucks would have a sign on the back that's like, stay back 50 feet, not responsible for damage. And like, my mom was a lawyer, and it was always a joke to me because it's like, you can't really do that because you're on a public road. You can't really just say that you're not liable for other people's damage if you are carrying rocks. And sure enough, like they settled a bunch of lawsuits, but eventually someone finally got fed up and really sued the shit out of them over it, so they can't do that anymore.
I love that when laws change, it's always someone that is just tired of the bullshit.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what's going to happen with games too, because the thing is, at the end of the day, you're putting a bunch of time and effort into something. They own the concept of the game, and they own the class structure and stuff. But the concept that they own your character when they haven't actually developed that character at all, like that is an entity that is unique to you and what you have done.
Yeah.
And the idea that they own that still is sort of... I have a difficult time believing that that's going to hold up forever.
I certainly hope it doesn't.
Grab that. Whoops, not what I meant to make. Okay.
By the way, whenever you're done with the island, I am too.
We need
Just
sand and clay.
Oh. I think I'm still done with this island, honestly.
Fine. Here you go. 2 more.
Alright.
Shortly. I made some more of the good batteries, by the way.
Good to hear.
And then I accidentally made another one. We're not going to talk about that, though.
Is that why we have 2?
What?
Is that why we have 2 of the good ones?
No, we have a lot more than 2 of the good ones.
No, I meant, did you
You're
mean to only make 1 good battery and accidentally made 2?
No, I made like 3 or 4, and then I
Okay.
accidentally made like another one.
Okay.
I'm gonna use the engines to get us away from this island, and then I'll let us go back to coasting. So we can build up some wood. I would very much like to build our wood up so we can start building again, because it's been a while.
Yeah, I'd like to fill this in and then I can start on the garden proper. Once it's filled in. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So we'll be making 3 bees harvest right now. Are we stuck? Silver?
Be.
Still hear me?
Yeah. Oh, we should just be going.
We're drifting towards the island.
Come on, man. I don't understand. Is it just not enough sails? Let me look this up real quick. I know you need more engines based on the side, but I don't know if you need it. The same thing with sails or not.
It's been too long, I can't tell you.
Yeah, okay, so we're gonna have to sail is useless basically at this point. So we're gonna have to run the engines. unfortunately. Oh, that may have been a mistake. That was a mistake.
What'd you do? The weather outside is fun.
Well, I was trying to get you some more wood
Oh.
for this. And unfortunately, it didn't let me select what it made the wood out of when I shift clicked.
Oh no.
So it ate our plastic. Which unfortunately puts us in essentially the same predicament because,
Now we have no plastic.
yeah. You gotta stop running back and forth doing that.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were moving towards. My bad.
Going one direction is fine, but it's when you just sit there and go back and forth over and over again that it gets me. Why is it using wood? I don't want you to use wood. I can't. There we go. Okay. Okay. You can resume whatever it is that you call that.
Hoovering.
It's so irritating trying to get into something and you're just running back and forth, which is funny because like you probably only pick up like one or two things as you go back the second or third time, but you just keep doing it. And I'm just like desperately trying to get into the inventory. Oh. Oh. We need to, whoops. Here, Grim.
Me.
We'll do this. Are you ready?
No. Now I am. What's up? Hello, Alan. You didn't do anything.
Oh, just wait. It's on its way.
Oh. Oh no.
I'm just gonna wait and see when it comes through the front of the ship.
No, that's a good idea.
Just because I don't want to see it until it's really like right here, but since the water comes through the bottom, you know it's coming. And it's suddenly come through the front of the ship. Thought I would have been here by now. Since you
Sure
want
you
to
went the right way on it?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Oh,
Here it is. It's here.
so it begins.
Go Hoover.
I mean, I'm waiting on the beehives to grow. We don't really need any of the plants I'm growing anymore.
It's not all that great, actually. I wonder if I could turn it up a bit more. Keep turning it up until the game is all but crashing.
Jesus.
Oh boy, there's a... Okay, well, that's unfortunate. You look out the left side.
Land ho! Dear mother of God. Oh god, I can't look that way. Oh no. Ow. I think you turned it up a bit high.
There's we seem to drop a few frames when we look in that direction.
This is safe. There's nothing over here. Life is calm. Life is great.
Okay. Okay, fun over. Let me go put it back to a value that makes sense. I hope you're ready to hoover. Oh god, I hear it. Graham, we're losing stuff. Go, 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 go.
How to kill the video game. Step 1. Let Silver be in control of commands.
It's never a good idea. As you learned from 7 Days to Die, you let me have control over things. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh god, we're going backwards. Grim. Feed the engines. One of the engines is off. We're drifting back into the lag.
Don't know which one it is. I'm trying to find it.
Wait, they're all on? What is happening?
Don't know.
Oh,
Some-
you turned off the engine
Oh,
as you were hoovering.
I see.
Okay. I'll turn it back to normal though. I had to do it for the walls. I'll build in this back area here so you don't have to look at the garbage island.
Jesus Christ, don't look that way.
Yeah, it's really
Surprisingly,
funny.
I didn't drop any frames during that, despite how bad the game
So-
got.
I mean, I guess I shouldn't have said drop frames, but we definitely, the frame rate went really bad.
Oh yeah, I'm just surprised like it didn't go all to the OBS. They experienced all of that at 60 frames.
Oh. Yeah, so we can't make any more beehives without clay.
Okay, so we'll have to stop at a small one.
Oh no. No, 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 no. No. Mm-mm. Headed towards Story Island. I'm dealing with that today.
When we're stopped, I'm gonna rip up the collector nets and move them further back so I can work on the greenhouse. If that's okay.
I don't care where they're at,
No.
as long as you can't see them.
Where they're at is where I want to build. Do you want the ones on the side then still?
Because they don't matter that much.
Pick that one up even. Well, that proposes a problem.
What?
Oh no, it's just remove the pieces. Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say you can't destroy things once they're armored up, but no, that's not the case. It's just that those are X to remove.
This all laid out. I almost fell through the ship right there. Right, I was gonna go place stuff out. Talked about favorite game, worst game, most disappointing game. Okay, well, with that in mind, what about movies? So what is your... This is definitively my favorite movie.
Pacific Rim.
Good choice.
There's no argument. It is one of the best movies. Mainly if you like mecha. If you don't like mecha, it definitely loses some appeal. But I would still wager it's probably an easy 9.
A lot of anime.
So if we're talking overall like animation, voice acting, quality art, flow of the story and pacing, while it's not one of my favorites, I think Parasite is probably the best anime in those respects. Like it nails all of those. Like it has great pacing, it's a decently good story, it's got wonderful art style that fits the anime. The animation is done very smooth, there's no cutting corners or anything, everything is animated. The voice acting both for the Japanese dub and the English dub is very on point. So I would say that's probably the best well done anime. If I was going to go with my favorite, it's definitely that time I reincarnated as a slime.
I should have known.
It's just so good. It's got a mix of action, comedy, and it doesn't do the harem porn anime versions of harems or other like fucking some of the reincarnated series are all like, hey, I'm gonna fuck every girl, and it's like, why?
So I think, honestly, when it comes down to it, my favorite movie of all time is Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's pretty good. I don't think it's my favorite though. It's definitely in my favorites. But it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
one I'd
actually-
watch all the time or anytime.
Well, I didn't say that.
Well, but that's
Just 'cause
just
it's
how I
your
view my
doesn't
favorite.
mean- Just because your favorite doesn't mean it's something that you just watch literally every day.
Okay, well, let's go with this then. What is a movie that if you just needed something to watch, you could just throw it on, your comfort movie, just no matter what time of the year or week, you would just pull it out of the shelf and watch it, kind of thing?
Right now, I'd have to go with Encanto.
We don't speak about Bruno, no.
It's such a good movie. Just on the whole, it is like I don't even know how often we watch it, but we watch it a lot because it's one of my daughter's favorites as well. And we just like, it's just like, have we watched Encanto this month? Maybe, but we're gonna watch it again because somebody mentioned it. We're talking about it now, so there's a good chance we're gonna watch it in the next couple of days.
Nah, shit.
It's got good music, it's got a good story, it's got just...
It's got the old
just
Disney
going.
DreamWorks magic to it.
Yeah, that's just...
Oh, hello, Island.
Oh, that's why we're stuck. It's an island thing. Okay, well... Okay, let me get up top and steer. See what's going on. Worried about building, not paying attention to... Oh! Okay, hello, island.
I told you.
We are inside of it. Okay. Well, let me go see if there's bees. We have become a part of this island. I would love to make a game like this. Except make it like totally get rid of violence. Just it's water world. And
So,
because like that's what we're trying to do with this, and if it wasn't for like things like bees and stuff,
I mostly agree with that, but I wouldn't mind seeing, like, as I was telling you last time, like, harpoon fishing instead of just fishing.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I would almost like take the story mode out. Not that it's not good. It's good. This game's great. I love it. Would not change this. But like, if I could make it a game like this, I would love to make one where it's just like water world, and instead of just building a raft, you could build like an atoll situation and massively expand what's underwater at any given moment. And concentrate more on... By the way, there were definitely bugs all over this thing. I would love to expand, just because like the building is good and all. Obviously having more parts is always great. Obviously, but you know, I would love to, maybe do railing, maybe do some Because, like, in War of the World, there is some nasty stuff up under there. And I think that would be a cool thing to add to this.
I think most of it should be the way I would do it. Like, I would remove above water islands. There can still be islands, but they should all be underwater, and like
Well, that's
you
what I'm
find
saying.
them
I would
like
expand
sonar.
it. I would just expand a ton of stuff under. You getting gonna go underwater?
I will, but I'm removing and replacing weapons at the moment.
Fine. I'm just gonna kill the shark real quick for you. Because, like their little additions in this with the stingray and the turtles and that kind of stuff, I would. Ow. I don't know. I wish I had enough money that I could just buy assets from the indie store, because like most of the stuff you can honestly get from there and just concentrate on like how you want the game to play. Ow. Okay, alright, I get it. Uh-oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna die. Haha. Man, I should just, whenever the spear breaks, I should just not even try something else. I should just make the spear, because I can pick it from anywhere, and just run life. No, no, I gotta like switch around and try and make what I have work for some reason.
Where's the wooden plastic? Because when you destroy stuff, apparently you pick it up. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna go down to the copper and stuff. Well, no, I need food, and then I will go down to the.
Let me finish killing Brucey.
Alright, no rush. I gotta eat up anyways.
He's like a couple of hits from death. But like I would love to make this more of a aimless wandering thing and concentrate more on the building and survival aspects. Cause like we're doing something that you're not really meant to do with this, right? With the
Yeah.
you know, and I get we do that with like every game we play, but I would love to see one that just went full on afterworld survival.
What I'd like to see in that game is definitely the option to anchor a raft and leave it there, and then like slowly make a home base as well as have a raft that goes around. If that
That's what I
makes
was
any
saying, like
sense.
with the whole atoll thing, like you could have a home but also build other things that you could take elsewhere. Like you could still build a custom raft, you could build, I don't know, like jet skis and regular boats if you felt like it. But yeah. Bruce is dead, by the way. Okay. Oops. Run out. Go upstairs and finish laying this stuff out.
Do we need sand too, or just clay?
Yeah, we need both.
Okay.
Clay, we need more clay than we do sand, but we need both. For sure.
Sorry.
So
I
is
missed
this
what you
boat
said
long
there.
enough? Is this
Yeah.
boat long
I'm
enough?
going to need shit. I had it mapped out. 19 blocks, and I'm sure it's more than 19 wherever. Like from that grass thatched doorway that's by the
Yeah.
pen, I need 19 blocks towards the end of the boat. So, however, if it looks long enough when we finish it, like customizing it, I don't know. It's like, it's definitely practically long enough. I don't know if it's,
Yeah, you got plenty.
what is the word I want? Aesthetically long enough? Yeah, I'll go with that.
So the question is, are you going to need the entire width of this?
No, I'm gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 by 18. So 9 wide, 18 long.
So I can... The main reason I was asking is we're going to need an engine room, and while there is enough length for your thing, there's not really
Yeah.
a lot of excess to do an engine room in, but if you don't need the whole width, I'll be
Yeah,
fine.
I don't need the whole width. Just count, fuck, what is that number? The door is the center, and I need 9 in total with the door being the center. Or 9 wide in total with the door being the center. If that makes any sense. I hope it does, because my brain's not processing it.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Dun, 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 dun. Where's OBS? Check, check. No one. Okay. Eyeball, why must you be so itchy?
It hates you.
Sure feels that way.
Which actually reminds me of one of my favorite things about Star Wars being that, ooh. Yeah, we can't have these side collectors.
Okay, we'll remove them then.
I didn't realize you couldn't build a wall on it, which I should have realized, but I did not, so...
I mean, if we really want, we could full on go with like a giant net style thing at the back end, but like,
Yeah.
that's definitely a later thing we can look into. We don't really need the ends too much, honestly.
Oh, I don't... Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think we're gonna be missing that much stuff that it matters enough.
But no, I don't know if you remember, I've deleted it since then, but you remember when I had that wood wall down in front of the fetch door? I had done that so there was a walkway of at least 3 blocks. Which I think, without being at the boat, I think you could get that on the side of my garden as well.
Alright. So that's the back end of the boat, and I've got the ropes up there, so... Try and get the deck done so that I can start building a bridge at some point here.
Might go...
Oh yeah, so the Star Wars thing. So, one of my favorite little silly things from Star Wars is the cantina scene from the original.
Yeah.
And it's just, I laugh every time I think about it because it's just like, they go into a bar and some guy just looks at Luke and is like, hey, I don't like you. And it's just like, there's literally this whole bar. It's not even that full of people. You could literally stand anywhere else or just face a different direction and you don't got to deal with apparently this person's face that you don't like. And then he proceeds to continue to just be like, no, but really, I don't like you. And it's like, dude, move 2 feet over. There's no need in like, look, there's tables for you, or there's another 8 feet of bar that you could go to. But no, he's not going to do that because he doesn't like you and he actively dislikes the concept of you existing and he's going to cause problems. And it's just like, I'm pretty sure that's how bar brawls often start.
Yeah.
Is that ridiculous set of circumstances.
I've seen that be talked about, and it's where the common conception of the fact that Tatooine is Ireland in the Star Trek universe, or Star Wars universe. Because of that.
It's just such a ridiculous set of events. I don't like you. Okay, cool. Like, I'm not facing you. You don't have to face me. No, but I don't like you. Dude, get a life. I don't care. No one cares. Yeah, it's funny.
It's great, honestly.
It really is.
There was something I was gonna say, but my brain's dying as I'm trying to think of it. I'm done with the island, first off.
Well, as I say before, this is a good place for us to stop, anyways.
No, you want to
So
get
we
off
can-
the raft?
Well, I mean, it's time to end the stream. I've got a couple of things I need to get done, and then I can probably get back on and do something. But I think this is a good place to stop for the day here. So, know that you gotta get to the top of the raft to
Yeah.
ensure that you
Safety.
survive upon re-entering the game.
Yeah, honey harvested.
I feel better today though with having at least the back end of the boat.
Yeah, I'll start working on
Defined
the
stuff
garden
is
the
better.
next time we're playing. Oh, I'm
That'll
gonna check
allow
the
me
clock.
to start building a bridge.
Okay,
which
so
is-
the clock is actual in-game time. Because it's
Okay.
6 o'clock now. It's right there for them.
Yeah.
I'll show you. I'll link it somewhere else if you want it.
It's a
But
bit of a squatty cargo ship, but I can make this work. I'll be able to build the bridge tomorrow maybe.
yeah.
So, okay.
I should have stopped the stream before
Goodbye.
closing that. Bye, everybody.
Yeah, you should have.